We finally have a winner. We have a good movie to report.
Yes.
And this is Larry, and I'm Mike, and we are the Movie Cranks, and tonight we saw...
Child's Play!
Judging by our reaction, this movie was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was really happy with it.
Yeah, it was an exciting, fun time.
Chucky is a toy.
He's trying to kill us!
I mean, it was fun enough to where I think if we just tell people to go see it, they will. And we just need to describe part of it.
If you watch, well, that's on Facebook, but if you watch our preview, literally everything I wanted was in the movie.
Yeah.
And everything I wasn't sure about, I actually flipped, and I actually liked.
All right, there, you happy?
It.
Yeah, in our pre-crank, we were talking about how we wanted it to be different. We wanted it to be unique, not like the originals. We didn't want the crap acting out of the kid, and that was a huge difference because the kid was great.
Yeah.
Gabriel, is it Bateman? Yeah, Gabriel Bateman was phenomenal in this. I thought he was really good.
And not just him, how they changed it. They actually brought in some more kids.
Yeah.
And they kind of gave it the Stranger Things feeling to me.
Kind of. They all had their own little quirks, and they had their own personality, and they had their own strengths. And just like a horror movie, they kind of team up and work as a team to stop this thing. and it's great. It's like 90s all over again.
You bring up the horror movie aspect, and I'm telling you,
it's classic.
It's here. That's one of the things that was my biggest pet peeve for this one. I wanted to see horror, I wanted to see blood, gore, and you get it. I mean, there's moments of Texas Chainsaw Massacre in this movie.
Yeah, that took me by surprise.
I thought that was freaking excellent.
They definitely pushed the R rating, not in a sexual way, or they did have some foul language, but the kids will have to stay at home for this because it is very violent. I mean, there's chainsaw deaths, there's hangings, there's, I mean, just horrible knifings and just brutal accidents.
Razor blade, like, what are those things called? Oh my god, I can't think of them.
Oh, the drones?
Yes, razor blade drones.
Drones going crazy. I mean, they were, and they didn't overdo it. It wasn't stupid. It wasn't like goofy. No. It felt like it was actually happening. There are a couple little down parts, but I'll leave that till later.
Well, I mean, we can talk about that now if you think about it, because the couple of down parts that was at the beginning.
Yeah.
That part, like the first 5 minutes of the movie, and they're like in a sweatshop. How Chucky becomes to be is a little...
Yeah, they're in Vietnam.
I think they could have did a little better with that, but other than that, I have no complaints.
That was the best part as far as if you wanted something... as far as schlock, you can't get more schlock than the opening of this thing. I mean, it was like straight out of an old 80s movie. Like, they had to come up with a way to make Chucky happen. And the way they did it was priceless. It was just like, what's the schlock? What's the most schlocky way we can do this? And it was like, I can't spoil it, but you'll know when it happens with the engineer building Chucky. And that's all I can say. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But that's good. The other parts that were a little off for me was the way they try to push this message in the movie about kids in cell phones and how entertainment is taking over life and in our home appliances.
See, that didn't bother me because that's kind of the part that I didn't think I was going to like, and I ended up actually liking because it kind of is taking over our lives.
Yeah, but it was the way they did it was a little cheesy.
I did think the one company, it was just like one company throughout the whole movie. Yeah. It's like they've taken over everything.
The whole thing.
Which I mean,
kind of Amazon.
Exactly, yeah. But you know,
to me, it was handled a little kid glove. I mean, it wasn't handled as well as the rest of the movie. It was a little cheesy and a little schlocky way. They had all these people that were going crazy over the Chucky dolls, which, if it was like the old days with the Cabbage Patch dolls, if we were back in the 80s and 90s, I can see something like that. Yeah, but this is 2019.
But I don't know, if you see this down and what it's actually capable of doing, if it's correct.
Yeah, the AI was amazing.
I mean, it's like a little living person.
Yeah, and it's cute. The way they start this off is this kid is from kind of a broken family. You can tell the mom has been separated. They moved. She has a really crap job at the toy store or at the Walmart.
And a really crap boyfriend.
Yeah, and a really bad boyfriend, which we find out. And he's looking for someone to connect with, and he does it through this doll that she finds, like, sort of gets, if she doesn't have any money, she gets it in a certain way. The guy was returning it, and it kind of, at first, you kind of feel bad for Chucky. Kind of like in the AI movie.
They're speeding in code lockers. Smell like garlic. Should claw in the chest beneath. Yeah, you locate the surface. Don't touch the merchandise. To all the lower shelves.
It's okay, Mommy. It doesn't hurt.
The activators are all shut down on the side.
Where you felt bad for the little kid, the AI robot.
To me, this movie, there's certain aspects, like that one you were talking about,
Yeah.
to me that kind of relived the original movie.
Yeah.
I remember the kid basically using the doll. He needed a new best friend.
New friend.
He's shy, don't want to go outside, talk to the other people in the neighborhood.
Yep.
So, Chucky is his friend.
Right.
And it's just kind of, I thought it was kind of cool because, and when I was a kid, I would have loved to have that fucking doll.
Oh, if you could have something that could think and talk and do things with you like a real person,
Of course,
this kid was great.
I'm thinking about it. If I was a kid,
Yeah.
I would love to have a lot of the toys out there nowadays.
Yeah.
We didn't have all this stuff. I mean, I remember for Christmas one year, I got the Star Wars toy. And oh, God, I wish I'd never thrown it away. It's probably worth a shit ton of money now. It was just like this little thing, and it had the Death Star and the little X-Wings and stuff, and it would fly around it. And it was just like you push a button, and that's all it did. That was it.
And now they have artificial intelligent things like, they can control your house, your phones, your car, and that all comes into play in this. Yeah. And it adds to the realism, because when you see it affecting their phones, their TVs, their everything, it's amazing. And there's also a lot of good supporting characters. Not only do you have Aubrey Plaza, who is great. I mean, she was the quirky mom that was down on her luck, that had to find a way to connect with her son and make him feel better, and all these bad things start happening, and she's got to try to figure it all out, and she thinks her son is losing his effing mind. I mean,
and it doesn't take long past that though. I thought she was going to be in the movie. To me, I thought she was a little more.
She's not.
They do really focus in on these kids, which I actually enjoyed. That's what to me.
What
made
an amazing achievement that the kids were that good.
Exactly.
The kids they picked, some of them I had never seen a lot of before. But the kids in this movie, and I'll put something up that'll show the kids, but they did a fantastic job. They were the fun friends that were helping out to take care of this thing, and it was so great.
It was great how they become friends, because you see Chucky, and basically they're like, "Oh, you got the doll?"
Yep. And
then they see what Chucky does, and I thought that was great. Some of the humor in this movie, to me, was exceptional, especially the refrigerator scene.
Oh, I know.
Where they teach. I don't want to spoil it, but maybe we can put this in a little spoiler section or something. But they teach Chucky to make faces, which is at first I really didn't like the look at Chucky's face. It does grow on you, and when he starts making the faces and he starts becoming more alive, and the door scene where he's just like, yeah.
We need to definitely talk about Chucky. We thought that Chucky was going to be a disappointment.
I thought he was going to be a disappointment.
At first, he kind of was offsetting, off-putting, I mean. Yeah. When you looked at him, he felt weird, like he wasn't real almost. Like you got that uncanny valley problem. But then, what's weird is as the movie went on, I started liking him more and more. And I actually like this one better than the original movie.
I think I do too.
He had more personality. He interacted more. He moved real fast, and he was able to climb and do things that they couldn't work out in the first one as much.
And there is a sense of realism to the fact that he is an AI, you know, and that could happen.
Not a voodoo doll kind of thing.
Exactly, right. Not a possessed voodoo doll.
Yeah, the AI part was kind of cool because they had to break him and do things to him in order to get him to stop, and that's what was neat. It wasn't like he was magical.
Yeah, and in the end, I do think Chucky and Mark Hamill playing him, was the best
You know
thing
what? I didn't
about this
even
movie.
realize at first. I completely forgot Mark Hamill.
Yeah, you totally forget it's Mark Hamill.
He just does a great Chucky.
He does.
The voice is real smooth and natural, and it feels robotic.
Yeah. Well, he's been voice acting for years. He's played the Joker, countless comic book characters.
Perfect person to do for this. So yeah, it was a real surprising turn of events. We were just not expecting to like this at all, but it turns out that it was probably one of my favorites.
It's honestly, I didn't think this was going to happen, but right now,
yeah,
I feel like this should end up on my top 10
yeah, this will be in my top 10.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, because it's a horror movie that
we're halfway in this year, and so far it's been pretty.
We were talking about, we're like, is this going to be a summer movie letdown? We're like, yeah, probably. I mean, we went in hoping for the best.
Yeah, we just were wanting a good summer movie, and we got it.
And there's a lot of other parts. The neighbors, they had this community because they were in this little apartment complex with all these other neighbors and stuff, and they were great. You had the neighbors next door, the old lady and the cop.
Yeah.
They become part of the story, and they're real sweet and friendly, and they end up, helping out at the end, and bad things happen to them too. But all these little pieces fell in place perfectly.
Yes.
And I do have the little parts I had negatives with.
Are just so minor, it doesn't.
I mean, I don't think this deserves a 60% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
I mean, I'm to the point of I want to try to think of something that was bad about the movie, and I just.
It had a lot of startles. There was a few jump scares, but it was handled differently. It wasn't like they did it on purpose because they were trying to do something either funny or trying to really just get a rise out of the situation with the AI.
Yeah.
They were like, here, make him do this, and he would do a jump scare, and that was the whole point. So it's not like they were just doing cheesy, crappy jump scares.
A little bit how Chucky kind of comes to be. We'll put this again in our spoiler section.
Yeah.
The kids are kind of training him unknowingly to be like a killer.
Well, and that doesn't even have to be a spoiler. What we can say is the kids, essentially, by him watching them, he was seeing the negative human aspects.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the ability as an AI
to shut it off.
He couldn't wipe that out and be like, well, I'm got to be a good person. He didn't have a morality. So if he saw them enjoying a slasher movie
exactly.
like Chainsaw Massacre, he then in his brain thought, hey, if I do this, they'll love me. And it was really creepy, but you got a sense of human beings are shit.
In a way.
Sometimes.
Unlike the original where it's just a crazy guy possessing the doll.
Yeah.
This one, Chucky really does, at the beginning, he loves the kid.
He starts, and you feel empathy for him. And that's the weirdest thing is, when it starts off, the first half, you feel like it's not his fault. Like he's a good little AI that's just trying to make friends and trying to be a good person and trying to make him happy. Yeah. And then it just gets warped
around.
And it's a good metaphor for humans. It's the technology, it's humans, it's our nature, it's all in there. And they even have a message that the kids are all just jacked up phones.
Millennials.
Yes.
I love that part. When they finally say, I hate these millennials. Oh my God, this is great.
And of course it was the cop too. Yeah. So let's make one thing clear though. This is not a highbrow, epic movie. This is a fun horror movie, slasher movie. And if you don't like those things, stay far away from this. If you like movies like Bridges of Madison County or something like that, just don't even see this. Yeah. This is a fun 80s, 90s style horror movie.
With some schlock,
blood, a little bit, lots of blood.
I ain't gonna lie, because there was one point that I gotta make. I actually did jump a few times.
Oh yeah,
I didn't think that was gonna happen.
Perfect. If you like movies such as Evil Dead, and anything like that nature, you're gonna love this. It's fun. Yeah. There's no negatives that I can come up with when it comes to the horror part.
Yeah.
The stabbings and all the brutal killings were just fun.
And I thought
that was great.
There's something I need to bring up too. I think it was shot really well. It felt like the way it was shot, it felt like the original Child's Play.
The crazy part is, like we said, it was in this little tiny cramped confined space in this apartment building. 80% of the movie was in this apartment building, but the way they shot it, The lighting and the way they did everything from different angles, from the ground, from his point of view, from the kid's point of view, to like shots from security cameras, they made it feel really like a big area. You know, it was amazing the way they did it.
Yeah, I was talking about those security cameras. I just wish it had showed a little bit more.
Yeah, Aubrey Plaza was looking just fine in this, and yeah, there is a scene with her. So kids, it's nothing bad. It's just a shower scene with no frontal nudity.
Yeah,
so,
you don't really see anything, but I liked it.
But she is gorgeous, quirky and gorgeous.
Yep.
So, is there anything else you want to add to this? It's going to be one of our short ones.
Yeah, because I think we actually did a pretty good job of actually getting it out, being able to verbally talk.
There was no SJW bullshit. There was no like Men in Black crap where they had to throw in all this junk.
This was just, to me, so much better than Men in Black.
If you haven't seen Child's Play or any of the old ones, don't worry. You don't have to watch them at all.
No.
You can just go straight into this because it starts from scratch.
To me, this is an original Child's Play movie. It felt original. It didn't feel like the first one.
And if anyone says that they still like the original better, I'll fight them for it because I watched the original again.
I liked the original. I ain't gonna lie.
It's a good movie for what it was. It was schlock and horror just like it should be, but man, they had some rough acting in that thing. That kid, I wanted to strangle myself.
Really?
Oh,
I don't really remember that much about it. It's been a while, like I said, and I think maybe that's why this one really worked so well being a sequel. It's been a while since I've seen Child's Play.
I mean, there were parts that took us by surprise. You've seen what happened to the guy with the roof and the lights. What you don't see is what happens afterwards, and that was great. The trailer, I thought, was spoiling things like they did with other movies we've seen, like Brightburn. I thought, oh, well, here comes the part where he's going to fall off the ladder and he's going to get eaten up by the tiller. But that wasn't the good part. It was what followed it. And I tell you what, that is perfect trailer usage right there. Oh, the best scene in the movie. The toy store scene. Okay, Army of Darkness at the very end of the movie. If you're a fan of horror classics.
You know that story about how you could have been king?
I think it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Lady, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store.
Who the hell are you?
Name's Ash. Housewares.
That's what this devolves into. Without spoiling it, we can say the whole toy store erupts into deadly dolls, drones, and more, and it's beautiful. I mean, it is carnage, and they're all on lockdown. They can't get out. So, Larry, what would be your final score for the new Child's Play?
Well, I'm going to say straight up, it gave me everything I wanted, plus more. What I thought I was not going to like about this movie was some of my favorite parts about this movie. Yep. There are certain things I didn't know about this movie going in, like the other kids, like I said, the Stranger Things feeling and the vibe I got from that just really won me over. I can say I hardly think of anything negative except for that first couple minutes.
Cool.
Other than that, I'm going to have to get into this one. God, I don't know if it's an A minus or if it's a B+.
Do mine first?
And I'm thinking, no, let me think. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give this one A minus.
A minus. I was impressed with, like you said, the filming, the acting really is what blew me away. I thought this was going to be a cheap blow-off in 2019 crap SJW movie. I thought it was going to be a crappy reboot with shitty CGI effects and all this stuff. The doll and the effects were great. The way he talked and Mark Hamill, all the acting, the gore and the scenes where he's doing things with table saws and chainsaws and all this other stuff was amazing. I will also give this an A minus. There's just a few little tweaks I would have made and maybe broadened it a little bit more and brought more people into it at the end. But all in all, excellent start. I hope they make another. Spoiler alert, they do lead into the idea that there's a sequel.
Yeah.
So I hope so. I really do. I would definitely see this again.
Oh, definitely. We're definitely going to watch
I can't wait to show other people this because I think they'll have a fun time too. And that's it. Go into it looking for a fun time. That's it. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for looking at us and seeing our previews and trailers and all of our nonsense and bullshit. Check out our Facebook page. And Larry, get us the hell out of here.
Thanks for coming out and watching one of our fun reviews. I really enjoyed making this one for you. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, like, share, bell, all that good stuff. Help us reach 1,000. We're actually getting close to 600 now, so if you can get us to 600, that'd be great. But I think that's all we got. Until next time, guys. See you later.
All right. Peace out. What was the movie with the hot dogs?
I feel so sadistic saying that. That little kid getting sprayed with the blood.
Well, what was
it was beautiful.
What was the movie where it was animated with the hot dogs and everyone they were alive and they were getting chopped up?
Oh my God!
Not Food Fight. It was
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, that one. Do you remember that?
I know what you're talking. Sausage Party. It's over. We won. We fucking won!
Sausage Party. This had the grocery massacre from Sausage Party. What's weird is that was what came into my mind. Not Evil Dead or not Army of Darkness, but for some weird reason, Sausage Party popped up, and I'm like, this does kind of feel like the end of Sausage Party. It's like just a massacre.
I didn't have one thought of Sausage Party in that movie.